Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I have quite a few books here. I'm going to be going over my completed pages for July, and I had a good month. I got 11 pages done. Let me just move that to the side. And I'm pretty happy with most of the pages that I did. So let me just go over stats first. But first, I just wanted to let you know that my troll came back to visit me. I don't know if you saw the other video, but I was really, I don't know. I just found it so funny that someone would leave comments like this. But this one was so good that I actually screenshot it so that I could read it to you. And she says, "Oh my God, your voice makes my skin crawl. Not today, Satan." I could not stop laughing. I mean, this was so hysterical to me. Satan? Seriously? We're calling Satan? I mean, really, dude. But I liked my comment. This time I commented. I didn't comment the first time, but I wrote, your comments are so funny. It's interesting that you keep watching my channel. I'm curious why you need to set up a dummy account. If you are embarrassed of your comments, then maybe you shouldn't write them. I have not received, deleting that now. I have not received a response to what I wrote, but I could not stop laughing. I mean, I don't know if they're meant to be serious, but I'm not taking them seriously at all. My voice is what it is. Just don't listen anymore. But for anyone that wants to move forward, let's get on with July completed pages. So as I said, I had a pretty good month. And for YouTube, I started with 266 and I ended on July 31st with 389. So I was up 123 subscribers. That is so cool, guys. I mean, I am so appreciative of everyone that, watches, likes, subscribes, but this is amazing news. Then on Instagram, I started with 744. I ended up with 773, so I was up 29. So let me put my 11 there. So I completed 11 pages, only one from an untouched book, which is better than none, but it was that big Frida book I bought. I participated in 5 hashtags. Did I do 5? I might have only done 4. I'm not too sure about that one. But so I participated in 4 or 5 hashtags, and I had a few buddy colors. One got moved to August, but originally it was 3. I have my group buddy color in Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. And then I had a buddy color with Candace from Happy Catastrophe, and we worked on a Rita Berman book. And then a new friend, Renee, we're gonna do Coloring with Your Octopus, which I haven't tried yet. We're doing this croquet page. I'm a little nervous about starting this, but she recommended buying this, the satin glazing liquid. So I applied one thin coat today, and we'll see if I can do watercolor with it now. So we'll see. It'll be fun to give that a try. But that got moved to August. I didn't get this supply, and then I guess life got in the way for her, so we just moved it a month. So again, that's my stats. Really totally excited about the YouTube. Having 389 subscribers is amazing for me. So I'm really happy about that. So enough with stats and crazy people and anything else, and let me move on to completed pages. So the first one is from Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn. I ended up doing 2 pages in this. This one was so successful and it was so quick that I just decided to do a second page. And over on the side, I'm going to be reading from my notes because I have no memory at all. So I don't remember what I do in any page. So this one is Artex acrylic markers and almost all Ohuhu alcohol markers. I think it looks like every single thing. And then I went over some things with the Artex paint markers, and I shaded with Prismacolor. So I'm pretty happy with the way this one turned out. I like her pink hair. I did not go in a lot with a lot of shading here in the hair especially. I just didn't feel like it. I just wanted a quick, simple page, and this worked perfectly. Then I decided, actually, I did this one first, and then I did this one. So this was the one I did for July 4th, Independence Day here in the US. I obviously themed this red, white, and blue. And in this one, I used about the same products. I just think I used more pencil here. I used the Ohuhu alcohol markers, even for the black background. The hair I did not. I used pencil because I didn't know how to do the transition from red to white to blue with alcohol markers. So in this one as well, I used some Artex paint markers to block out some of the lines, but most of them I did leave in. I like the way the page came out. My Prismacolors worked really well as usual. And then I did kind of this red, white, and blue pencil around the border. So I like the way it came out. I left the wings white. I probably should have gone in there with some sort of iridescent marker maybe, but I think I just wanted it to match the white in her hair. So again, love this book because it's just a lot of quick, easy coloring. I don't shade an awful lot in this book, but it is really a fun book to work on. The next book is Meine Reise durch Asien by Rita Berman. This was a buddy color with Candace from Happy Catastrophe. I would love to show you her page, but I don't know how to do that here is her page thing that everyone does. I will work on that. It is something that I have to do, especially since I'm enjoying the buddy colors so much. But I will be able to show you my page. And we did this beach page. And this was a lot of fun to do. I did a watercolor base on everything. I think almost everything. I added extra clouds in just to break up the sky a little bit, but excuse me. Otherwise, I just used Prismacolor to do the shading. And then I did use the Artex acrylic markers to block out some of the lines. Like I did it on the house, but then felt like to do every single line just would take me way too long, and that's not where I wanted to go with the page. I really enjoyed doing this. I loved having the buddy color. Candace is great, and she was a lot of fun. So this was the page that we did in Rita Berman's Asian book. Next up, I have this Pictura Dragons book. This is a panoramic fold-out book. You won't be able to see all of it, but you do get panels that you could work on. I did this page, which is sort of a continuation of the last page in the book. So this is the page that I did. I used mostly watercolor, especially in areas like this gold. I just did some lighter saturation and darker saturation of the color to make it look like there's some density in some spots. And then I went over with my Prisma colors. I think there's a little bit of jelly roll glaze here and there. I don't know if you can see it at all. The thing that, I don't know if it actually bothered me, but it's this wall or this piece of concrete. There are so many colors in here, but it looks like I barely colored it. But I must have used like maybe 6 or 7 different colors in here. Reds, yellows, blues, grays, and it just kept looking uncolored. So I just kept trying to deepen some of the colors, and I still don't know if I like it. I tried to get the gold reflection in, and I think that was successful, you know, like just a little bounce back of the red color on the wall. It just looks unfinished to me, and I don't know how to finish it. If anyone has any recommendations on what I should do with this piece, let me know. This is supposed to look like a sculpture of some sort, so I would assume it's gray, but I really would like some recommendations because there are so many other buildings and columns and things that I will need to do. So I would like to know if there is a better way to do this column. And if anyone has any advice that they want to give me, I would really appreciate it. So this is the page from Pictura, Coloring Dragons. And as I said, it was just watercolor, Prisma colors, and a little bit of jelly roll glaze. The next book is a project book by Christina's Art Corner, and that's Spooky by Sarah Sedgwick. And Christina picks a page every month, puts it on Instagram, and then we just color it. I'm sorry, I didn't mark this one. I don't know why. And here's the page that I did. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it really looks like glass yet. I'm working on it, on trying to make glass look reflective in some way. I used alcohol marker as a base for, 90% of this. Then I went over with my Prismacolor to darken it. I also tried using the Artex acrylic markers as a paint marker in addition to just trying to white out some of the lines. And I did that in this, whatever this purple thing is, and I really enjoyed the markers for that. I didn't notice the soft tip as much when I wasn't that concerned about making a thin line. So that was really, really fun to do. I think I also did a little bit here, and then I darkened it with the Prismacolor pencils. I did, at one point when I was done, I really felt like this jar or bottle was floating in midair. So I tried to ground it by putting it in grass. And I used my Neocolor 2 for just basing the green on the bottom. And then I used my Prismacolors to just try to flick some grass. I don't know if it was effective. I think it did what I needed it to do, which was to kind of ground the jar. Yeah, does it look like grass? Not really, but it kind of gives the impression of it. So I'm kind of okay with it. But I did enjoy this page. This book is so much fun, guys. It just really, I don't know what it is about the book, to be honest. I just think it's just, the subject matter is fun, so I'm not trying to make anything look like it's a realistic flower or light. I just don't care. So I think that relieves a lot of stress and just makes it enjoyable to color. I think this is August. I think this is the image that was selected for August. So this will be a little bit more challenging than just like a bottle or jar, whatever we're calling this. So that'll be interesting to see how I'm gonna do that. Obviously it's a night scene, but we'll see. So fun book, great book. Again, thank you Christina's Art Corner for doing this project book. Spooky by Sarah Sedgwick. Next up, I have Grains of Gold by Hannah Carlson. And I did a page, sort of like a matching page. I think I did this one in May and I absolutely loved it, but I wanted to do the corresponding page and I did this page. And I absolutely love the way this spread came out. I really think it looks nice. And on this page, what did I use? Hold on, guys. Oh, here we go. On this page, I used both Prismacolor and Polychromos. I used quite a bit of gel pen, Jelly Roll, the Signo Gold. I used the Artex acrylic markers to lighten some of the lines where I felt it really needed it. I did it on the silver chain, and I don't really like the covered up lines that much. I did not do it here, just to kind of show the difference between, let's say, where I actually did white out the lines in the metal and on the chains with silver pen, because I was going to make it a silver chain, but I just don't really like the way it came out. I don't know. I just think that with the black lines, each link looks more distinct. So, you know, I wasn't going to go in and try to scratch anything out, but okay, learning curve there that I actually like the chain with the black, but I still absolutely love the color combination. And guys, all these metals, I used the color combinations from my Colorful Country Life, and that is so invaluable. I mean, I really love those color combo videos. I kind of colored most of them out. I'm still working on it. I don't have as many pencil sets as she does, so it's really only going to be with Prismacolor and Polychromos, but it's priceless. I mean, to me, this metal came out really well. There's some kind of close-ups of it. I did different types of metals like golds and coppers and pewter, and I'm just in love with those videos and those color combinations. So I think that's all I did in Grains of, oh, sorry, Tim Holtz Distress ink in the background, as well as everything I mentioned, Prismacolors, Polychromos, Jelly Roll Glaze, Signo pen, but love the combination. And I think this is the first 2-page spread that I actually completed in this book. I have a couple of singles in it, but I've never done both sides. So, you know, maybe this one will be the next one, because I really like the way this guy came out. This was September 2023. So maybe I'll do her in September, you know, because it's nice. It really looks good when you have the 2-page spread absolutely completed. So really happy with that. Grains of Gold by Hannah Carlson. Next up, I have Luna by Maria Trolle, and I did the tomato page, which I absolutely love doing, guys. I think they do look like tomatoes. They originally started looking more like apples. So I added a lot more orange to it, and therefore they kind of came out looking like a tomato. But I actually grow tomatoes, so this was kind of fun. It, resonated with me. On this page, I used mostly polychromos pencils. I also used the Artex paint markers to white out some of the lines. I did try to paint with the Artex markers. Not as successful, but these deep lines in the middle of each leaf. But, it is what it is. I still think it looks okay. I used white Signo gel pen on what I'm going to call these pink bushes. And then I used a lot of Jelly Roll metallics, including around this border. I'm not sure if you can see anything. I doubt it if you can. Maybe a little bit on the top. You can see some of the glitter. But I like the way it came out. I wanted the focus to be on the tomatoes, so that's what I kind of made the brightest. Otherwise, I kind of kept some of the other colors more muted so that the tomatoes would pop. Now here's an example of when it looked more like an apple. And it's that little one. I think that was the first one I did, and realized that my color combination wasn't really going to work, and therefore I added more orange to it. But basically that is the page that I did from Luna by Maria Trolle. Next up is the group buddy color with a bunch of fabulous women. I think Disney Meg and Amanda Colors are the group leaders. We are doing this book in order. Every month we try to complete a 2-page spread, except for this past month. This is the double-page spread. And as you can see, there are so many elements in this. I think we all got a little freaked out. So I just think that, thank God Amanda and Meg thought this is too much detail. Let's do this over a 2-month period. So that's what we did. This was June and July, which is a little different, but I absolutely love my red background. I did that all with pencil, and I really love the way that came out. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with this. What is this, a raven? I just can't get him to look good. Last month I did that and really disliked it. It was like literally one of the worst pages I thought I did for months. So I tried something a little bit different, and it didn't really work here either. So I did kind of get frustrated with the bird, but all the little elements, I'm not good with a limited color palette, to be honest. I'm very moody with the way I color, and I color whatever I feel like coloring. But I think it works. With the darker background, I think it made everything else sort of pop. But on this page, what did I use? Oh, it was all Prisma colors, gel pen. I used some paint pens. And I think that's it. Yeah, I'm seeing like the Jelly Roll glaze in spots. I can see where I just used paint pen. I didn't shade, but I used that instead of pencil. And a lot of metallics, a lot. To fill in all of these spaces with pencil would have been mind-blowing, honestly. So I just didn't even bother shading. And even with the crystals, I just used a metallic gel pen and called it a day. But I like the way the page came out in the end. I wish I did do a more limited color palette, but I think it was enjoyable. So that's all that matters, really. I just really enjoyed coloring it. So I'm not too worried about whether it is as cohesive as I would have liked. But yeah, next month, thank goodness, is an easier page, but this is a lot of metallic, so we'll see how that page goes. But it's definitely easier than this Raven page that we did in June and July. So that is Joanna Basford, Ivy, and the Inky Butterfly. The next page is from David Peterson's Mouse Guard. And I did this page, and I really love the way it came out. I haven't done a bad page in this book yet. And I think it's the quality of the paper. And it's not particularly thick or anything, or really textured, or really, it's pretty smooth, but there is some texture on it. But so I don't really know why everything is coming out really well, like vibrant colors, and I don't know. I just really like coloring in this book. I used mostly Albert Dürer pencils, activated. I shaded over the top with polychromos. I used the Signo Gold and Silver gel pens. I don't know if you can see. There is some metallic on there. I used the Spectrum Noir sparkle pen just to make this mesh. I think they're usually metallic, made of metal, so I tried to get it to look like metal. And I think I used, is it Jelly Roll Moonlight? Might be one of the gel pens I used, but otherwise it really is mostly the Albert Dürer pencils activated with water and the polychromos pencils on top. So I really like the way this light came out. I'm normally not good at it, but I really felt like this was a better blend into the gray background than I normally do. Normally there's usually like a line that you can see. So in this one, I was better able to make it look like a gradual lightning. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the way the green light came out. So that is the page from Mouse Guard by David Peterson. The next book is The Night Voyage by Daria Song. And I did this double page spread. Oh my God, guys. I started with so much vigor, like, oh, this is gonna be great, you know, like, wow, this is an awesome spread. And I started coloring and I really, really enjoyed it. And then I got to all these little houses. So I did not use a lot of detail in these little houses. I wanted it to kind of blend in the background and really have this be my focus. I could have made this, I think, even lighter than I did. Oh, look, guys, I missed something. All right, I'll go in and color that after this video. I missed a present. Wow. But I used Albert Dürer activated with water. I used both polychromos and Prismacolor to shade or to just fill things in. But it was a lot of the Albert Dürer activated with water. I also used the Ruby Red Pablo pencil. I only have 2 Pablos, but it came out, the color is just lovely. This is I might have just said Ruby Red, but I really like that Ruby Red color. The pencils worked really well in this book. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy any more because I do have a couple of sets that I use and don't really need any more. So, but it was a really successful pencil in this paper, on this paper. It really worked well. I really like the way my tree came out. Again, mostly the Albert Dürer. I enjoy the watercolor aspect of it. I tried to make these roofs look a little bit different, like different shades of brown. I think it came out okay, like a little bit more red, a little bit more yellow, but I like the page. I just got a little tired of doing all of these houses. That was a little frustrating and must be why I missed this present completely, just because I was getting tired of doing them, but really enjoyed this page. I like the paper. And I see I did use a little bit of the Signo and the Jelly Roll. I didn't have it on my list, but I definitely see it. So I use that as well, but it was enjoyable. And I got another double page spread done. That's 2 this month, which is really cool. I don't usually do that many. So that is Night Voyage by Daria Song. Next up is Duncle Bunt by Sarah Richter. And I say it every single time I do something in this book that it is a stunning book with fantastic paper. This paper takes water like not a problem. There's no ghosting. I don't know. It's, first of all, it's single-sided. It's one-sided. But this is the page that I did. I used watercolor paints. I think these are actually, they might just be Daniel Smith paints. I did use a little bit of salt to put a texture on the page. You can see the marks there and across the top. I also just dabbed with spots with additional paint to kind of make it look more textured in the back. I wanted like a textured wall. So in addition to the watercolor paints that I used polychromos pencils. I used the Ohuhu alcohol markers on the face or the skin. I based the skin with the Ohuhu alcohol markers. And then, although everything else is polychromos, I use Prisma colors to darken and highlight the face. Yeah, some spots of this book, you'll see the grayscale is quite dark, and I didn't think the polychromos could cover it as well as a Prismacolor. To me, a Prismacolor is definitely a waxier, more opaque kind of pencil. So that's what I decided would be the better of the pencils to, you know, lighten some of the very, very dark areas of the grayscale. In addition to the pencils, I used the Jelly Roll Metallic Gold, and I used it in a lot of spots, and it was to cover up the black lines in most of the gold areas. Like you can see there, maybe you can see a little shine there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I used the Signo Gold, Jelly Roll Gold. There was a lot of gold used here to cover up the lines. And I used it to color some of the spots as well, but really love the way the page came out. Here's where I show you, like, I didn't do so well with the conversion from a yellow to the gray, and it just looks kind of like a ball. That's why I like that other page. That's why I thought it was so successful, that green mouse guard. I don't usually get the glow of light to look that well. So it is something I need to work on, but one thing at a time. So that was it. I did try going over the wax candles with the Artex paint markers, but you lost all distinction on where a candle started and where one ended. So I just used my nail to scratch off as much as I could to kind of get the black lines back, because if not, it just looked like a blob. It was awful. I thought I ruined the page, but you know, I was able to get most of it off with just my nail. So all in all, I really love the page. So that is from Duncle Bunt by Sarah Richter. And the last page I have is from this Frida Kahlo book. Today is Art Day. This was weird, guys. This was just absolutely weird. I used a lot of watercolor here and ended up just, yeah. I don't know what to say about this page. Normally, and it feels like watercolor paper. So I did use some alcohol markers to base the skin. Then I went with just straight watercolor over most of everything. And then I went to shade, and I was using my polychromos pencils. And I don't know why this paper was eating up my pencil. You know how normally you don't sharpen a polychromos that often because it's like a hard lead? This just kept destroying the points. So I ended up not wanting to shade anymore because it really was destroying my pencil. So I ended up just using metallic paint. I ended up using just like matte watercolor, regular plain watercolor, and then on half the leaf, I did it metallic. So it kind of looked like the sun was shining on it. Not sure if you can see anything. Then I used the Art-X paint markers to kind of paint some of the fruit here. I think this is a peach or an orange. And I just painted it straight with the paint markers. I didn't really want to use a lot of my pencil. It really wasn't doing that well. So I don't know about this book, guys. Maybe it'll be nice to just do straight watercolor on it and not have like a lot of shading or detail on it. Yeah, I don't know how that... She doesn't put, honestly, a lot of shading on hers, if at all. So I didn't feel that badly about it, but I don't know. I was hoping for a better result. I was a little surprised with how abusive this paper is to a polychromos pencil lead, but yeah, I don't think I'll be coloring in it with pencils. God forbid I used a Prisma color. It would have been, I would have like used up the entire pencil, honestly. So I don't think I'm going to be coloring in this book that much, but it's like fun if I feel like doing watercolor. So okay, that's it, guys. That's it for July. I'm shocked I got as many pages done as I did. That was 11 pages. I usually average around 10, but we did move and we're still unpacking, so I'm happy with what I got done. I pretty much liked all the pages, give or take one or two, but it was a good month. I'm excited to move on to my August pages. I think I picked a lot of good ones, although a lot of difficult pages from difficult books, but I think they're going to be enjoyable. They're all books that I love doing. So thank you so much for watching, especially if you stuck around this long. Please consider giving this a thumbs up and subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. I'm still trying to grow this channel. It's only a few months old, but I'm totally thrilled with the way it's going. So thanks everyone for watching and liking the video if you liked it. So thank you. Bye.